Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah and I wanted to welcome all of you to another episode of the Road to Riches and Amateurs Investment Journey here on my YouTube channel. If you happen to be new to this series on my YouTube channel here, it's basically a collection of videos where I take real leftover money that I have at the end of every single month and basically put it into the stock market, right? I invest it. I show you guys how easy it really is to start accumulating long-term wealth. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into the stock picks for the month of December 2024. So here we are in my Excel dashboard that I usually pull up for this. I did change things up a little bit so we can kind of see. I cleared things out, right? So I made things a little bit easier to see so we can kind of take a look to see a lot of months at one time to see how these stock picks and ETFs, mainly ETFs on my for this portfolio here, have been performing. And you know, from May of this year, you know, even back a little ways, we've been doing pretty well, right? We did have a little bit of red when we first put some money into Nvidia comparatively to what we would have expected, but things are going pretty well right now. So before I move forward into December, I do want to make a clarification that for November, I did not actually, I didn't make any investments, right? So I didn't post a November episode of The Road to Riches. And this is another good point that I like to bring up in some of my other videos too, that we need to definitely pay attention to, where life happens, right? Things happen in life where you don't have the financial means to do certain things. In this case, it was I didn't feel comfortable putting another $1,400 into this portfolio, so I just didn't, right? And this is okay, right? This is a part of life where we're not always going to be in a good position to do things. But if we look, you know, at the consistency that I've had for, you know, the last year, over a year, I think it's okay, right, to miss 1 month. So it's not ideal, right, that I missed November, but I'm back in November to make some more stock picks here. So for the end of November, we were still positive, right? We were ahead of expectations for you know, all of the picks that we've had, right, which is actually pretty good. And so for December, and we are sitting in the first week of December. I've made clarifications on this. This isn't a perfect system, right? Because things happen in life, and I can't do everything on the first day of every single month, but it's close enough. So for December, I had to think a little bit. I had to think about what I wanted to do. Do I go with my old reliable? Do I go back and put you know, another $1,200, $1,300 into VOO? Or do I do something different? And I was looking at some of the performance that some of the ETFs and stocks, I only have one stock here, which is Nvidia, have had over the last 6 months or so, pardon me. And I noticed that Nvidia back in, I think it was June or something like that, was like $105 a share. And now it is $145 a share. So, you know, that means basically in that period, right, which isn't that long of a period, 6 months, you know, $40 nearly was added to every single share, you know, that you had, right? So if you had, let's say you had, you know, 500 shares, and then $40 was added to them, that's $20,000 that you would have seen as a gain. Now, I don't have 500 shares, right? Unfortunately, but I do have a decent amount at this point. So I wanted to go in on Nvidia again. Obviously, there's a lot of hype for it in the media, and there's probably a lot of demand for it in the next few years at least, based off the way kind of technology is going right now. But I thought it would be good, right? I thought it would be good to maybe get some more into Nvidia to see what kind of gains that we can get. So I put 7 shares at $144 a piece. I was close to doing 8 shares, but there wasn't quite enough money in the portfolio, so we settled on 7 for a total of about $1,000. And the projected returns for Nvidia, assuming that it stays with its historical trends, are going to be, you know, right under $4,900. So we're going to see if we can get there. You know, like I said, it's not perfect, right? Because I'm already 1 week in to the month, to as a buy-in, but I don't think the price has changed that much in the 6 days since December started. And of course, I do like showing the account as a whole, right? So this is my Charles Schwab dashboard. I do this portfolio specifically, and I have another couple portfolios as well that are run within Schwab. But this is basically how we're doing, right? So there's a lot I always say there's a lot going on here, so it's not worth getting into everything unless we're doing kind of a deep dive. But what's really, really important is right here, right? Gain and loss, because it's going to indicate if we've lost money or made money overall. And you can see that my NVIDIA, prior to investing, right now, have made me about $1,000, right? And my ETFs have made me about $7,000. So it's a decent chunk. This one stock has made me, a seventh just about of the entire, gains in the portfolio. So I'm going to keep going in on Nvidia. We'll see what happens at the start of 2025. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling and how things are going. But this is kind of just the general overview of my account. The other thing that's extremely important to look at here, especially if you're kind of maybe just getting into investing, or you're not, you don't have that much knowledge on it. I mean, I don't have that much knowledge on it, if I'm being quite honest with you. But obviously the gain and loss is important. But I think the second most important aspects are the cost basis and then the market value. The market value basically indicates what your stocks and ETFs investments are worth right now, right at this very second. Your cost basis is going to be how much money you've actually put in, right? How many dollars you've put in. So you can see that in Nvidia, I've put in $3,000, $3,100, and if I would sell right now, I would be able to get $4,000, and that's where the gain of 960 comes from. As far as all of the other ETFs that I have, what is this, 12 or so, 10 ETFs. I've put in a decent chunk, right? $25,000 or $24,300. If I would sell right now, $31,000, right? So you can see that this wealth, this extra income, right? It's not really an income because I haven't capitalized on it. I haven't liquidated it. But you can see how this accumulates over time. And this portfolio I've been running for, like I said, over a year at this point. So seeing these kind of numbers is really, really encouraging. It makes me motivated to keep going for 30 years to see where I'm at. And I'm hoping that I'm continually making these videos into the future as well. So this is just the other page right before you actually make the transactional purchase, right, to purchase your stocks. You can see that I'm buying 7 NVIDIA stocks at the market value, reinvest dividends always, and the stock price is right there, the total is right there, and then you can click place order down here, and then you're going to be led to this screen right here, which is going to show you your confirmation, right? Pretty simple stuff. But that is going to kind of conclude this quick episode of The Road to Riches. Just to check up, right? To let you guys know that I did miss a month, and that's okay, right? If you do miss a month of investing or saving, life happens, right? But the important thing to consider is the consistency of your overall time with this kind of endeavor. So I hope to continue. I hope that the stocks continue to stay green. We're going to see what happens. I know there's kind of a little bit of skepticism on how the market is going to perform or kind of hold up within the next year or so. But I'm just going to keep going, right? Because I've got a long time to go before I actually need to start pulling any kind of money from this. So I hope you guys can stay along for the ride as well. If you've made it this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.